Welcome back for part 2 of Guadalcanal on Let's Play Battlefield 1942. As you can see, the Japanese have made a major comeback here, capturing all of the flags now. It seems that moving in as a group and attacking that village flag really turned things around for them. It also seems, though, the Americans haven't really been able to do much with their airplanes. Usually the airplanes can be very effective on this map, especially at suppressing enemy tanks. I think maybe having some guys attacking the enemy main base in their airfield really did a lot to sabotage their efforts there. Notice now we've got 4 pieces of armor right around that village flag. For some reason that flag, I guess it's because of the easy access, the main road, it's not up in the mountains or anything like that. The center of the action really seems to focus on that village flag. It's also the flag that's easiest to attack with an airplane. The American destroyer is just off the coast, and even that's attacking the village flag in the surrounding area. I've spotted one of the American tanks. I'm not sure what he's doing on that side of the mountain. That's the only American flag besides their main base, and they're probably sick of spawning into their main base by now. They're just going to have infantry all over that area. As long as our tanks stay pretty much where they are, we'll be able to be pretty effective at pinning them in at that one flag. There's another American tank, somehow getting through all the Japanese tanks in the area. Oh, there he goes. That's where it helps to have lots of tanks in the same place. You can defeat the enemy tanks very easily that way. Americans in this situation, what I'd probably do is have a bunch of people spawn in as an engineer so they can set up landmines at least around this flag. There's really no excuse for all these Japanese tanks to be roaming around freely. We've managed to neutralize the flag, which had been their only flag, although the Japanese tanks seem to have all taken a lot of damage along the way. The one flag that the Americans now have is the other mountain flag. Once again, it seems like if you've got a bunch of people going up one mountain, the enemy team always seems to manage to get around to the other flag on the mountain. This flag was staying neutral way too long. They must have had someone hiding in there and just killed them. It's always awkward to try to maneuver these tanks around on the mountains, especially if they've got so much damage. My tank is just about dead, and if I go too quickly off of a cliff or even a slight drop, it could kill the tank. There's an enemy artillery piece along the main road. Artillery are always a fun target to attack. They've got so little hit points, and such a big target too. Now I guessed that the grenade that he had thrown at me would have just barely been enough to destroy the tank anyways. so I tried to get out there. And that's one of the things you have to be aware of, is even though the grenades aren't meant to attack and destroy tanks, and they only do a little bit of damage, if an enemy with his 3 grenades starts throwing them at you and you've got only a little bit of armor left on your tank, it can easily destroy it. And if you try to bail out of the tank, you may end up getting killed by the grenade directly. I'm going to try to get around to the other side of this mountain just to get out of the sight of that enemy tank, make it more awkward for him. I can see an enemy landing craft icon just to the east of the village flag along the coast, and that's one situation where the destroyers can really come in handy, is if you don't have many or you just got one flag and you position that destroyer just right. You can use the fact that you can spawn at the destroyer and use the landing craft and use that as a platform for attacking the point. Now I've just used my 3 grenades to destroy the artillery, and there's another artillery piece, and I really wish I had another 3 grenades because this would be an easy kill right here. Usually if you've only got 1 grenade, you can still kill the artillery because of the metallic sound that scares them. I guess the knife sound doesn't simulate that quite right, so I can't spook him and get him to jump out of the artillery piece. There's a friendly infantry there, maybe he has grenades. And that guy in the artillery is really trying to position himself so he can aim at me. I just picked up an enemy's kit. Hopefully he still has... No, I guess he doesn't have grenades. Here's one that does. And I managed to stay still just long enough to get sniped. And that is just a constant fact on this game, although I was able to get enough grenades off. If you stay in one place for too long, you are the target for the enemy snipers. Now, we are the ones who have ticket bleed inflicted against us, but we did a good enough job for long enough to build up a pretty good lead. It's only around 40 tickets or so, but considering that the other side has less than 40, we're in pretty good shape as long as we don't bleed for too long here. I'm going to see if I can head over to the other flag on the coast, the valley flag on the west side. That's a good one to approach as an infantry. Unlike the village flag, which is out in the open, you can really sneak up on this flag, sneak up on any infantry who are going in or out. I think that was the sniper who got me from before. Well, we managed to capture it right from underneath them. People tend to spawn in here and immediately leave. There's really not a whole lot to do over here, although a tank does spawn in. I'm going to hitch a ride on this tank over here and head over to the village flag. Stay tuned for part 3.